Hello, how is everybody doing today? I am doing okay. It's been a rough week and a half. Yeah, if you watch my Thrifty Thursday video, which will have been yesterday, by the time I post this video, I'm actually recording this video shortly after I made the Thrifty Thursday video, so it's currently Thursday, but I will be posting this on Friday. As promised, if you watch that video, it's going to be collaging, but it's going to be a whole can of worms of me talking. The past week and a half has been such an ordeal. So before I get into the story, I'm going to tell you I've been sorting my collage images. Not all of them, of course, but I am starting to kind of sort some that I'm going to put into my Alex shelves or my Alex drawers. I did mention this in the last video, but I'm going in more in depth. So yeah, I'm going to have these in all my Alex drawers and they're sorted. So I've got birds, I've got butterflies, different categories that I use all the time. So flowers. Now these images are just what was in my big collage Rubbermaid tote type thing that I had at the cottage. It was all images that I was like, oh, okay, I want to use these, you know, at some point. It's what I've been using for this collage book like the whole time, the past few months. Yeah, so I sorted through that stuff. And so I started making kind of categories like these. I'll put in the cabinet when I'm done today. But I also did, these are like focal images. So these are like smaller focal images and these are like bigger focal images. I don't know if I'm going to put those together or not, because some of them by smaller, I mean like they're not going to end up being a full page. So they're not really the focal image, but I mean, they'll be part of the focal image for sure. And then, yeah, the ones in the folder are bigger so they can be like their own focal image kind of thing. And I also did this. I'll probably keep these for now in the collage container, and you go to this container when I want to collage. Just random collage, not anything themed like my glue book, my collage, my color glue books, my monochromatic color glue books, or my scavenger hunt glue book, things like that. If I just want to do just collage, you know, random collage glue booking, I'll go to this. So yeah, I've got background strips and bits, and then I've got bigger bits of backgrounds. So yeah, I had that way at the cottage, but everything got really mixed up in here. So especially with moving it and stuff. And then I've got a few little folders. I found these. I was so excited to find these. I bought these at Dollar Store forever ago. It was like $1.25 for I think like 5 of them. Little plastic envelopes. Cat hair sticks to them like no tomorrow. They're staticky. So small, medium accent images. So these are, yeah, not focal images, but images that I'll put on pieces to embellish kind of thing. Yeah, like embellishment images. So I don't know how this is going to work, sorting them this way. It might be a little too in-depth kind of thing, but I'm going to give it a try. And then accent strips. So like for edges and corners, I had a lot of pieces that were like, yeah, they'll be cool on corner pieces, or on edges kind of thing. Like for example, like this is from a storybook. That is going to be so cute as a corner piece. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of background, but not really. It's going to be like, I'll show you my next folder here. It's like a mid-ground kind of thing. The difference being that like background images, chances are I'm going to cover most of it up. But for like mid-ground images, I'm going to want to try to keep quite a bit of it visible. Like for that tree, I'm going to try to keep as much visible as I can to, you know, still be able to see that it's a tree. So these are mid-ground accent images. So things like abstract stuff, shapes, frames, decorative items. So these are ones that I'll be tucking behind like a focal image. So say something like this, and I'll put like a person in front of that. Like say, for example, like something like that. Well, that's kind of cool, eh? So yeah, that would become my focal image kind of thing. So these are like, yeah, mid-ground is what I called them. That's what I came up with. So yeah, things like this, kind of, yeah, in behind somebody. That actually looked pretty cool too, didn't it? I might be on my game for collage today. I was like, ooh, both of those are cool. So while I've been sorting through, and then I also have words and things, while I've been sorting through, oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm obviously not drinking my coffee fast enough. I'm doing too much talking. I've been kind of setting a few things aside, like some things that are like, I want to use this right away. So this is usually how I work. I'll find an image or a word or something and it'll inspire a whole page. So I'll give you the examples that I have here. So I've been kind of collecting for 3 pages in this book. This image started this one. This is just like a scrap from a magazine. I think it was like part of an ad. There was like a shampoo bottle or something in front of it. Just this little tiny scrap because I love the mossy greens and I love the peach with it and the raspberry. I think that is, and then like the beige. I was going to say ribbon, but really it looks like an elastic band. Now that I look at it. But anyway, I love this little clip. So I started putting like coral colored things with it. And then I got this basket of peaches from like a watercolor book, I think. No, it's magazine, but yeah, it's definitely watercolor. And then like just little bits and pieces that are coral or pink and are gonna go with that color-wise. Even little, like, yeah, there's a little corner piece. I know this one looks out of place. I may not use it, but it would look cool in there still with the oranges. And yeah, see now I've got some blues going on. This is like a wallpaper, I think, from a magazine. Then I found this little bit of poetry because I did some word sorting too. I see a peach. I don't know why there's a space between that. Talking like William Shatner. I see a peach, still slightly green, already somewhat pink. It is summer, I see. Colette, Flora, and Pomona. So yeah, this was from like some old book. I don't know. It's even got a little bit of like water stain. That's fine. So I'm going with like coral color, peach color. Yeah. And then this is, I had mentioned in my last video, cutting up different craft magazines like Somerset Studio or Cloth Paper Scissors. There's always a lot of artwork in there from other artists. But what do I do with it, right? Like I'm not going to put it in journals that I'm going to sell. So I put it in my own collage books so I can enjoy it. Like I love this poppy collage. This is a collage that somebody else did, like a mixed media collage. So yeah, I'll work that in there kind of in the background so I can still see it and enjoy it. And then this is like a little bit of a painting and it's got some little peachiness. So yeah, I don't know if I've got everything I want for that yet, but it's definitely a good start for that page. And then I also have this page. This started with this because I did do a music-y page, or like, I'll show you here. I did this. Here she is, tuned in to the heart of the action. So it started with this image. I love this image. I think that came from a product design book. So yeah, the whole TV media thing, I was going to put music in there too, but then I had a lot to work with here. So I just let that go. Like I do have the music tapes there. Yeah. So I'm going to do a different music page with this. And this is from Uppercase Magazine, I believe. So yeah, this is someone's artwork. Really beautiful. Love, love, love like the neon pastels in here. Love it. So I went with that. And then I found this for background, which I mean is so funky. And I've had this too, which is black and white from an old like encyclopedia or book. And I forget exactly what this is, but it's definitely, it's a science thing. And it's like, I think it's like, what do you call them? The macro microscopes that you can see atoms and things. So yeah, this is like an atom doing multiplying or neutron something. I didn't take like chemistry or whatever. I don't know. I took more biology, but yeah. Or I guess that is part of biology too. But yeah, anyway, I digress. That was a long time ago. That was high school. Yeah, so it's really pretty. So I thought that would be a really nice background. And it's kind of, I don't know. It feels artsy and with the swirls and stuff. I thought it was kind of music-y. And it's like this one with like the outward, you know, it's like sound waves kind of thing. So then anything I found while I was going along that could possibly work on it. Like that little collage. Got some word things. I threw them in with it. And yeah, a lot of the time it'll be a word or phrase that I found. I'm totally going to get like demonetized for that word, but break it loose. So there's that one. And then I also collected for this one. And this one, I feel like I can do this page now. I've got way more than enough to do this page. The music page, I don't know. I still feel like I might need something. Maybe like a, I don't know, big funky music note or something. But anyway, this started with this image. This image I love, and I do have a piggy bank spread in my scavenger hunt glue book, but this baby is big and he's way too big. I have no room left for big piggy banks on those pages, so I'm going to put them in here instead. I kind of thought about maybe starting another piggy bank page, but I'm like, no. I'm just going to have like one of each subject kind of thing in that whole spiral sketchbook. So I'm not going to repeat subjects. So yeah, that's him. And I got all kinds of neat like fonts and things. I've been sorting my words and things. Like that's another thing I do in the evenings. Like if we watch TV, this was like from a little, I think this was from no, this was from Uppercase too. In my mind and in my car, we can't rewind, we've gone too far. The Buggles. Video killed the radio star. Is it Buggles, Rob? Bugles? No, it's Buggles, it says. I think that's a typo, eh? Who did video? Hey, Google. Who did Video Killed the Radio Star?
Here are some results.
Okay, thanks, Google. Ever helpful. Hey, anybody have a Google Home Mini? Because mine has been like...
Hey, Google.
Horrible lately.
Who played the song Video Killed the Rock Star?
Radio Star.
All right.
Here are the top search results.
What is she doing? Is she displaying them on a TV somewhere, maybe?
Sending it to my phone.
Oh, she's sending them to your phone. Well, that's helpful. Yeah, anyway, I do know that Video Killed the Radio Star. I believe that was the first video MTV ever played. I believe. Anyway, yeah, I think it might be Bugles, but that doesn't sound right either. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. So Rob just happened to come in at that moment. He closed my door. I assume he's, going on a call and I'm being too loud. So I got all kinds of little bits and pieces. And he just hooked up the Google Home Mini in my room. I like to have one for, times like this when I have to ask her things. Isn't that cute? A room. And this little cute image. And I thought this was really neat. Like the little wheat. Like you'd see it, whipping by on a highway kind of thing. A little bit of a road map background. That's kind of cool. And this, it's from a National Geographic. And I forget what it is. It's some sort of like art installation. Like this is people. That's all people. And they're all like laying down. So yeah, it was some sort of circular whatever. But to me, it definitely conveys movement kind of thing. And then I got this is from a Disney book. That was, I believe, The Aristocrats. But I love the cobblestone streets. Again, cobblestone streets. Yeah, so I think I will work on that page right now. I did do a few pages the other day. I'm doing really dark pages. I guess this one's not, it is dark, but it's also very colorful. But I did do this one's dark. Kind of like dystopia, This was this dusky purple. And then I don't know, it feels, very dystopia to me. Just the colors used in this watercolor and these words are really sketchy and deconstructed kind of, or letters deconstructed looking. They're embroidered. I believe those were from a Somerset magazine. And then just these colors. So I was just really feeling that. I guess this one isn't too dark, but it was kind of I think this was kind of my segue into working in dark stuff. And plus, the last week and a half has been, an ordeal. So, and I had that one. This one I put here. Sometimes I'll skip a page because I either feel like they're really going to not go together or clash really bad or be way too similar. Or sometimes it depends on the layout of the page. I wanted this dinosaur shooting lasers out of his eyes to be kind of more seen. So I want him to face the outside of the page. If I put him over here, he's going to be right here facing the inside. So he's not as visually striking kind of thing, if that makes sense. The flow of the layout wouldn't be as cool. Definitely. So I feel like it's a page that goes in this direction, if that makes any sense at all. And I absolutely love this. I forget what this is a picture of. I think it was some sort of micron microscope type thing too or something, but it's really neat. It's one of those heat sensing things. And even just this is a little blob of paint, and that came from a Somerset Studio magazine, but I used it, look at the crackle and stuff on it. Great texture. All right, let's start this baby. And I'm gonna start telling you my story. It's 15 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to things yet. All right, so I think our ordeal kind of started. We had a bit of a flood in our basement, right? So, but we were really lucky about it. So what happened was we had this huge amount of rain one day, huge, ridiculous amount of rain. the ocean was all crazy and the rain was all going and it was just windy and crazy. And the previous day or a couple days before that, Rob had mowed the lawn. And I'm not blaming Rob. No, he just forgot, whatever. But he had taken on our gutter, there's a drain spout, but then at the bottom of the drain spout, there's a big long like gutter piece, like tube. And it carries water away from the foundation, which is very important to do. If you're not a homeowner, that's one of the main things you need to do is make sure water doesn't build up around your foundation, because then it has a chance to leak and come in. So he forgot to put the pipe back on. And it just so happened that where the bottom of the downspout was, there's kind of like a recessed area, because the previous owners had some like dips in the lawn and stuff, and they filled it, but it's just like a bit of dirt in there, a bit of soil. So it's been like kind of packed down by like the weather and the rain and stuff. So it was a bit of a dip. So what happened was water built up there, and then that also happened to be directly where our out pipe is for the sewer. So it seeped down the wall, the outside of the foundation seeped down the wall and then came in around the sewer pipe. But it wasn't a whole lot of water, and it stayed, actually, it happened in the one small room in our basement that isn't finished. It's our storage room, where the hot water tank is, and it's not finished. So we didn't really lose anything. A couple of the bottom of a couple of boxes got wet, but I think the only ones really were like ones that I had Christmas trees in, like small tabletop Christmas trees that I used to use when I do craft shows just for display. So I think that's it. I think that's all that we lost, and a lot of other stuff. Oh, and maybe a box of grout. There's a box of my grout on the floor, which is funny because I'm gonna mosaic our new garbage box. I'm gonna put our house number on it, so I might need to go buy new grout. But anyway, so I think, yeah, the bottom of the grout box might have got wet. But actually, the grout inside should be in a plastic bag, so it shouldn't matter. But anyway, so Rob had to empty he emptied it before he even told me about the leak. So he hauled everything out of that storage room on the left-hand side where the leak was. It only kind of came like not too far out, maybe like 6 feet or something, 6, 8, 10 feet. So yeah, it didn't really damage much, didn't make it to the hot water heater even. So he hauled everything out of there. And then woke me up. He had discovered it one morning when he came down to work. He woke me up to help him clean it. So yeah, he went outside, put the pipe back on, put some dirt. I had just gotten some bags of soil for gardening, to do the flower beds. So he put some soil in there because, yeah, it helps, like, soil helps retain the water and soak it up kind of thing. So it's where the big pool was kind of thing, the dip, he filled that in. So yeah, we got that all under control. But the thing was, we had to empty half of the storage room. And we were doing good in the rec room. The rec room was stuff that either belonged in the rec room, but we couldn't put up really because we couldn't find this container of screws that, they're very specific screws. They're like when you get IKEA furniture and they're like these little lock things and stuff. They're not IKEA bookshelves, but same thing, like the little lock things. So you can't just buy screws to replace them. So anyway, we couldn't find this container of screws. So Rob had been through like all of his boxes of stuff and like stuff that had come from the basement in his area from the other house. So he, we couldn't continue setting up the rec room. We were at the point where we couldn't continue setting up the rec room until we had those shelves. So, and I also had my Paintball Tailor stuff out there that was supposed to be going out back. So again, we needed to build more shelves for out back before we could put stuff back there for the storage room. And as well, I had my craft room boxes out there that I had yet to sort through, like my second time. I had gone through everything once, took out all the paper, but now I'm going through and taking out things and putting them where they belong kind of thing. Now that I have all the books and paper, kind of sorted and where they are. So yeah, that room is kind of ridiculous right now. It is definitely one step forward, 2 steps back with that room. It's kind of discouraging, but anyway, now that we think our ordeal with the ordeal with the back storage room is dealt with. It's done. It's good. However, So we had Monday, we had a plumber come in and install an outside tap on our house, on the foundation. Because we didn't have an outside tap. I don't know why we didn't have an outside tap. I guess it's because the house was from the 70s. I guess that wasn't a thing then, but yeah, Rob's like, do we really need one? And I'm like, dude, we garden. We definitely need an outside tap. So we had a plumber come in and do that. So then he leaves. The next day, Rob comes downstairs. Or no, actually, I was in the craft room that night, the next night. I believe it was Tuesday night, right? Yeah. And I finally decided, if you've seen my craft room videos, I'm sitting at my table and facing the door. So I finally decided over on the right-hand side of the room where I have the pink and orange bookshelf, I kind of just had a bunch of stuff kind of thrown there in a pile. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to haul that out because I'm kind of running out of room as I bring boxes in from the rec room and go through them. And I'm keeping most of the decor in the boxes, packing them back up because I'm dealing with one thing at a time kind of thing. I'm triple handling this stuff. But anyway, it's my system. So yeah, it's pretty well just decor left in the boxes. So I'll deal with that. That's the last thing I'm going to deal with in the craft room. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to haul out kind of like the random pile of stuff over there and just start putting these like totes over there to keep them because they're kind of all over the room right now. So I go over there to do that and I notice some moisture on the floor. So my first thought was Luna, our lovely calico cat, has decided she wants to start peeing outside the litter box, which is fantastic. Fantastic, by the way. Anybody want a cat? So if you're a cat owner, you know that cats are jerks and any little thing can cause them to like not want to go to the litter box. So, I mean, I know the first thing you think, the first thing someone said, and the first thing I think is like she's got a UTI or something, or it's a medical thing. But no, she used to be chronic with UTIs, so we know the signs, like immediately know the signs. So we figured what had happened was I changed the litter because of she had like really fine, the fine litter would stick to her paws. So we were changing litter, trying to find one that she likes. So anyway, yeah, that whole ordeal. So she, started peeing outside the box. She was doing it in the back entryway a few times, but then, yeah, I saw moisture on the floor and I'm like, is this cat pee? And then I'm like, okay, well, I've been down here for a couple hours. I don't think she came down. If she came down, I didn't see her. So I'm like, what is going on? So I'm down on the floor. I like throw myself on the floor, which is why my knee is in such horrible shape right now. I'm on the floor crawling around and I'm like trying to smell. It doesn't smell like cat pee, but I find sometimes I can be kind of nose blind. Rob's more sensitive to the smell of cat pee. Anyway, so, and I'm like, it's not cat pee. So then I'm like, I'm looking and like, I'm kind of hauling out boxes and things. And I'm like, no, it's like kind of like against the wall. And I'm like, oh God, the foundation leaked again, and it leaked over here this time. This is on the other side of the house from the storage room that had leaked previously last week. So then I'm like, okay. I yell for Rob. He was asleep on the couch with Artemis. Poor Artemis. Rob probably tossed him once I was like, it's leaking in my craft room. I'm sure he like fired Artie on the floor. Poor Artie learned how to fly. So he comes flying down the stairs and we're hauling out things and boxes and stuff and looking. And he went into the pump room. The pump room is on the other side of the wall from that orange and pink bookcase. We're not savvy to all the nuances of owning a pump. Both of us have always had municipal water and sewer. So having a septic system and a well are totally new to us. So this pump, we're like, oh my God, like we're thinking it drained itself or something. It's all wet in there. And then it came out under the baseboards into the craft room all the way down the wall. And then it also went the other side of the pump room into the bathroom. The floor was all wet against the wall. But it was really weird because it wasn't wet. It was just kind of like, it was almost like if you take like a spray bottle with like a light mist kind of thing, and it was on the surface of things kind of thing. Like, and the boxes that were there weren't wet. They were just slightly damp. And I don't even think it puffed up the joints, the seams in the laminate floor down here. There's laminate floor in my craft room. So it doesn't look like there's any damage there at all. So we freaked out. We're like, uh-oh, when Buddy came to install the tap, he, that did something to the pump, whether he hit something wrong or like when he turned it off and back on, like the pressure caused like an old gasket to break or something. So we called the plumber back and thankfully he came that same day. And he took a look at everything and he said, I think it's just condensation. So we've been trying to wrap our heads around that. We're like, condensation, really? To go under the wall and through? So Rob put it, we have thankfully not dehumidifier. Yeah, dehumidifier. I'm thinking dehydrator because I always say it. Yeah, no, we have a dehumidifier, thankfully, because our basement at our old house was unfinished. So it was always kind of damp if you didn't have a dehumidifier. So Rob put it here in the craft room, ran it overnight, and it's fantastic in here. Then he moved it to the pump room, and now everything's great in the pump room. And apparently that is what it looks like. Like condensation is building up on the pump itself. Like it's like dripping wet, like the tank of the pump or whatever, the tank part. And it's like super cold and sweating condensation. So Rob was checking it out and it looks like the water would build up on there and then kind of like run down one board and then down the wall, like one of the 2x4 studs in the wall, and then seep under into the craft room and into the bathroom. So that was a couple days ago. It's much better now. The pump room is like super, super dry now. Oh yeah, apparently this all happened because we had a really super, super, super muggy day. And like afterwards, as I was thinking about it, a couple days, yeah, really muggy. It's really muggy here. I mean, we live beside the ocean, so yeah, we, really humid. So we, what did we do?
Put the humidifier.
Yeah, put the humidifier in. So it's running and it was like, he had to empty it. The first night he emptied it like a bunch of times. But yeah, it's definitely doing its job. So now that we know that was the problem, and I mean, like, we thought like, oh God, what?
It was 75.
Oh, the humidity was 75 in there? And it's supposed to be 35-ish? Like, it's 15 now? Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna like put some sealant in there around the floorboards and stuff, like around the base. It's a concrete floor in there. That's also an unfinished room, I guess. We do have 2 unfinished rooms in our basement. But yeah, so we're gonna insulate the pipes. Apparently that helps, the cold water pipes, and we're gonna keep the dehumidifier in there. So that's all sorted. But during that, my craft room got rearranged. Everything in that corner just got thrown everywhere. So there is stuff all over my desk. And what I was doing that night, I was sorting stuff. So I kind of had stuff all over anyway. Like for example, this is just randomly on my desk. I took this out of a box, and it's just kind of like pens and papers and things that I'll have to bring upstairs to my desk. And I was just kind of, you know, putting stuff randomly in there. So I've got stuff like that kind of all over the place. And then I've also got, yeah, now I've got like everything that was in that corner is all over the place. I repacked the boxes that were there, the cardboard boxes. I repacked those into Rubbermaid totes. I left a few things out that felt a little damp maybe, but not super bad. So yeah, and I apparently can't talk and work at the same time today. So yeah, that's under control now. So I think I can start putting my room back, and I don't think flooding is going to be a problem. The first thing I thought was, oh God, the foundation there's a leak in the foundation. So that would involve ripping my craft room apart, like ripping the drywall off the walls, getting all that like sealed or whatever, injected, redone, all of that. And I was like horrified. So then when we figured out it was the pump, we're like, okay, if the pump went, worst case scenario, that's a lot better than ripping out all the drywall and everything. And we knew that, like, you know, we're both mechanically inclined enough that we knew like the whole pump probably wouldn't go. It's just like, you know, you have to replace a seal or, you know, whatever. So once that was determined, I felt a lot better and I was a lot calmer about it, kind of thing. Rob's the worrier in this relationship anyway. He definitely worries a lot, but yeah, I felt much better. So I've left the craft room for a couple days. It's all dried out now. It's fantastic. So I feel confident I can put stuff back where it's supposed to go. Yeah, and get back on track. Hopefully. We still haven't built shelves in the closets, and I really need those shelves in the closets. Still haven't brought my paper rack in, but that's because I don't have any room in here for it currently because stuff is everywhere. So I've got to clean out the corner that it's going into. I really want to put that light in there, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe I'll cut it. Get started on this here. Now that I'm, you know, half an hour into the video, we'll actually start doing something. So yeah, I threw myself on the floor all in a panic about that. First I thought it was cat pee, which was a panic. And then I thought it was, you know, the foundation leaking, which, yeah. So anyway, threw myself on the floor and I'm crawling around the floor like aggressively kind of thing, you know, moving stuff and panicking. So that was Tuesday. So then Wednesday, I went to town a little bit. Not town, I just went to Baktush. So I went to the grocery store, pharmacy kind of thing, ran some errands, went to the little thrift shop that's at the food bank there, which I didn't even know about. Thank you, Deb, for telling me. It's a cute little thrift store, reasonable prices. So yeah, I was limping around, but I mean, it was just a bit of a limp. I was fine. But then in the middle of the night, that night, which for me right now is last night, so Wednesday, I don't know, I did something, or maybe it was the night before, actually, Tuesday. I felt like I kind of half woke up and I kind of like moved my leg and it like shot pain through my knee and I was like, oh my God, kind of thing. And then I forgot about it, of course, by the time I woke up the next morning. And yeah. So this morning, it's bad. It is bad. My knee is, it's in horrible shape. It's messed up. Definitely. I definitely twisted or tore something. I'm not quite ready to go to the doctor yet. Going to the doctor in New Brunswick or in Canada is a pain. Yeah, we have free healthcare, which is fantastic. Socialized healthcare is absolutely phenomenal, but the government doesn't handle it well necessarily in all cases, kind of thing. So our doctors, they're underpaid, everything's short staffed. So if I can't make a same day appointment with my GP, I've got to make an appointment like to a clinic or the hospital, and it's like a big wait. I probably have to go to the hospital because I'm sure they'll x-ray my knee, so they'll just send me there anyway. So I'll probably have to go to the hospital and sit in emerge for like 12 hours because they take people by priority. So like if emergencies come in, and I mean a hurt knee, not, you know, not even like broken or whatever. Yeah, that's low on the priority list. So I'm trying to take it easy today. I'm not doing anything. I went up and down stairs a couple times. That was pretty difficult, but I figured out how to do it without, you know, without really hurting my knee more. So that's good. Yeah. And I think maybe I'll put the heating pad on it tonight, maybe. Okay, that kind of works, eh? What do you think? It does kind of work. And then I had that another little bit of cobblestone. I don't know if I need it though. Whoops. Kind of knocking stuff over here. Like I said, I've got so much stuff on my desk. It's like layers of stuff, piles and piles of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put these over here. I really like that, but it doesn't go really. So I also do that. I try to do that because I always gather way too many things for one page. So as I go along and I'm like, nope, that doesn't work, I'll take it out, right? Like this background, I don't think we're going to use that. So I'll set that aside. Oh, while sorting my images, I also took out, I have a basket with a bunch of really big images in it. So when I start that, if you watched me at the cottage forever ago, feels like forever ago, a couple months ago, I had bought this quilt book that's like spiral bound binder type thing. And I took out the pages I wanted, and it was mostly like 90s quilt colors. So I wasn't really into them. It was like earthy kind of thing. So I'm going to use the rest of it as a big glue book because I'm like, I have big images that I want to use. Don't fit in this smaller one. So yeah, I'm going to get started on that. And I took out images for that. I mean, I guess I don't really need, because there's already cobblestones. I don't think I need another, unless I want to put maybe like a little, to highlight him, I could put a little underneath to make it look like a shadow. Do you know what I mean? Like shaped. Hang on here. Like kind of cut out like, no, I don't think so though. I think he's good like this. So yep, toss that aside. Yeah. It's been a rough couple days. Rough few days, but really it worked out. So I think I'll do like a little cloud bit over there. Really, in the grand scheme of things worked out really good. Like for the foundation, there's no cracks or holes in it or anything. It's just around the sewer pipe wasn't sealed too well. So Rob's just going to put some sealer, and he's already got things going on outside to fix it. We know how to fix that. And then the pump, apparently there's nothing wrong with it. We just have to do some things to help it not condensate so badly. That's on us. we didn't know. Yeah. Oh, and to exasperate my knee as well, I was out gardening the other day. I was trimming shrubs, and I was also, do I want that? I think I want that like right there exactly. I was also raking and things, so that didn't help. That didn't help my knee, I'm sure. Raking sucks. Well, I shouldn't complain because Rob's been mowing our lawn, which is ginormous. It's like an acre of land. He's been mowing it by hand with a push mower. So, and it takes like he's gonna refill it like 3 times with gas. So we've been looking for a ride-on mower, but so far we haven't found one. But kind of don't want to buy one new. We're mechanically inclined enough that we can buy a used one and, you know, fix it up if anything goes wrong with it, probably. So, but it is getting to be like the end of the season, even though summer just started, right? Like gardening stuff is being marked down. Like I got some plants the other day for cheap. This will probably keep. That's an interesting little strip. That'll just go into either my strips or my scrap bin. Now, do I want... No, okay. I'm going to line it up down here and leave the white space up there because it will be covered by this and by that. Okay. So, yeah. So we've been looking for a mower, but so far we haven't found one. So Rob did the lawn, and when we do get one, I'd like to get one, yeah, that like mulches the grass or whatever, because we had a lot of grass to rake up. It was not fun. Oh, and I told Rob we need to stop buying cheap garden tools. He'll buy them at the dollar store. And I went out and trimmed the rose bush that I'm not keeping, the wild rose bush that's all up in my lilacs. And oh, and I planted my dwarf lilac tree, by the way. Yay! So anyway, yeah, I did some trimming, and I mean the branches are pretty big, some of them, like maybe like my thumb kind of thing, that thick. But yeah, these dollar store like clippy things, they like all bent. So I told Rob, I'm like, I am a fan of the dollar store. I am a fan of no-name things. But there's some things that you can't cheap out on. So like that is just made with cheap metal. So it's not going to stand up to, you know, trimming like effectively tree branches, right? There are definitely some things that you cannot skimp out on. Kraft dinner is one of them. That's what we call Kraft mac and cheese in Canada. Sorry, American friends. Yeah, the no-name Kraft dinner, Kraft mac and cheese. Yeah, no. Definitely not as good. Nope. A lot of the time, though, the no-name stuff will be made by the same company that makes the regular stuff. So, like, oftentimes, say, like, your Heinz ketchup, they'll make the no-name product, too, and it's just watered-down Heinz, right? Or, like, Eggo waffles. That's a good example. They're made in the exact same factory as the Kellogg's ones. Okay, that is totally cute, isn't it? And then I want a little bit of... kind of play around and see where this looks best. A little bit of cloud. I think kind of like that, maybe? Yeah. Okay, so I want that like there and there. And my paper trimmer is, my guillotine paper trimmer is currently full of piles of stuff. Oh, that's like... So Candace from Candy Cane Creates tagged me in this like game or whatever challenge thing. She tagged me like a few months ago, and I never noticed. I hadn't gone back and looked at like my notifications in forever. The only ones that I've been looking at are like my video, like as a creator, my notifications, not just regular YouTube notifications. Like I get a notification if someone comments on my videos. So yeah, I've been keeping up on those, but not other notifications. So yeah, I noticed she tagged me in this hashtag game or challenge that's going on. I think it's hashtag what's in a name. I don't quite remember, but I will post it. I will be posting a video for it soon. So I wrote up a thing, talking about it, who hosts it, who I was going to tag, everything, right? Explaining the whole thing. And I printed it out. And because I'm a genius, I didn't save the text file. I just printed it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's printed, so I'm good now. I can just delete it. So I deleted everything I wrote up. And I don't know where the file is. I was like, oh, it must be in with the recipes I printed, because I printed a lot of rhubarb recipes, you know, a couple weeks ago when I got all that rhubarb. Yeah, no, it's not in there. So I think I might have brought it down to the craft room somewhere. So it's probably buried under some stuff. So I've just got to find it. So I will, Candace, I haven't forgot about the challenge. I will be doing the challenge, but yeah. Yeah, it's been an ordeal. And Rob's like, you know, it'd probably be quicker just to rewrite it than to find it. I'm like, you never mind. Get out of here. Because I have to do all the, you know, find out again who's hosting it and who I was going to tag in it and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I do have that video I need to make. And I was going to make it today. That's when I realized that the sheet is missing. Or I started looking for it last night. Yeah, that's right. I went through my recipes last night and stuff when I was in the kitchen doing up the strawberries with whipped cream and sunshine cakes. Speaking of strawberries, so we went for a drive up the coast the other day, up past the Bucktouche Dunes, which are one of the world's few natural sand dunes left or something like that. Anyway, yeah, they're really nice sand dunes. They have like boardwalks along some of it. It's like 12 kilometers of sand dunes. Yeah, so we went for a drive up past there, and there's actually a U-pick up there. And they have like two entrances. They have an entrance to like the U-pick, which has a ginormous strawberry out front. And then like, you know, one of those roadside attractions, like giant, like the size of my car. And then down further, they have a market. And out front of the market, they have a basket of strawberries, a giant basket of strawberries. So I'm like, oh. So we stopped, and Rob got a picture of me with the basket of strawberries. I'll actually insert the picture if I think of it. They weren't flattering pictures though. But anyway, so I went to reach and grab, I could tell like the basket was wood. But the strawberries I figure were concrete. They definitely look concrete. So I went to grab one, and they were like, I don't know, like this big. So I went to like pretend to grab one, but it actually came like off the basket. They're styrofoam. They're like big carved styrofoam strawberries. And then like the green parts on the top are like actual felt. They were blowing in the wind. I'm not sure how these don't blow away because they're right across from the ocean. Like they're right there. And it's been windy lately. So yeah, this turned out really cool. Isn't that really cool? Look at that. The little bit of clouds and then yeah, that turned out really cool. I'm happy with that. So yeah, it turned out they were styrofoam. So then we went down further and I went to take a picture with the big strawberry, and it also was some sort of like styrofoam fiberglass or something. It was really weird, but yeah, it was fun. I am all about the strawberries. Okay. I don't know if this will go because the background like this, the background's kind of like dark and dreary as it is. So I don't think that'll go where it's black and white, but kind of got this stuff mixed in with this other stuff here. Hang on. Let me try to keep it a little tidy as I go instead of just firing stuff, because that stuff is all sorted, so I don't want to mess it up. All right, so I don't think I want, well, yeah, maybe I will put that little bit of a roadmap in there. Yeah, so far we haven't had a lot of really nice weather. We've had a few nice days, but I haven't got down to the beach yet. We don't really have a beach across from our house per se. It's more like rocks. Like at the tide's in, it's just rocks. There's like a lot of like the bedrock, like sandstone and stuff. Once the tide goes out, there's a bit of a beach there, but yeah. I haven't really spent any time. We went for a walk a couple weeks ago at night. Like it happened that the tide times and the weather synced up enough that we could go for a walk on the beach at low tide in the evening. But yeah, so it's been kind of off and on for tide times and weather, and we still got lots of rain. I totally love this picture of this piggy bank. I was sad that he didn't fit in in my scavenger hunt glue book. Okay, I don't think that's it. Nah, not going the extra mile. How fast can I go? That's a possibility. And I've got a couple of say green means go, which is kind of neat because this is a stoplight, right? That's way too big. So this is the process I use when I collage, or really when I do anything, when I art journal. Oh, wait. I really, really wanted to put the pimp my ride thing in there. Pimp my ride. Yeah, maybe like this. Pimp my ride. Isn't that hilarious? It's in like a 1950s kind of domestic-y kind of font. Like that's what I think of, like the 50s kitchen kind of graphics. Fast and Curious is kind of neat, but it doesn't really go. It's kind of like, it's like gears and wood and metal and stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, and it's got like bike gears and stuff, so it doesn't really go. Oh, and I definitely wanted to use this in my mind and in my car. We can't rewind, we've gone too far. Oh yeah, that was how this video started, right? Talking about video killed the radio star. I've actually been listening to quite a bit of 80s music lately, which is funny because I hate 80s music normally. But I've really been, yeah, lately I've been feeling it, I guess. Dream Ride. How fast can I go and green means go? I think this might be enough like this. What do you think? Oh yeah, there's Rev. But Rev doesn't really go. Definitely doesn't go with Pimp My Ride. Okay, I kind of like him up there because then I can put Pimp My Ride on the bottom. Yeah, a lot of the time, like the focal point or the beginning idea of a page for me is the text. I love text from books. Like I love the fonts and things. Like, yeah, it appeals to my design nature. I love typography and yeah, pretty fonts and things. I guess it appeals to the graphic designer in me. Speaking of which, I'm currently working on a big patch order. It's been a while since I've done patches by myself. Normally Rob kind of, yeah, he's been kind of taking the brunt of that, not gonna lie. But now that we're moved and settled and my alterations slow down in the summer anyway, I'm only doing commercial alterations now, so yeah, they're a lot slower in the summer than in the winter. Winter, you get a lot of, uniform pants and hockey jerseys, endless hockey jerseys. But yeah, I've got this is the first patch I've done completely by myself for a while. Doing up the designs, transferring those to embroidery files and fixing that all up, all the stitches and stuff. I think I might kind of put this, yeah, I think that looks good, yeah. So it's nice to get back into that really, because I mean, the designing aspect of patches is totally why I bought my tablet. And I've even like purchased a license for the design software, so it's on my tablet. So it's nice because I can sit there, I can sit with Artemis on the couch or whatever and have the TV on and catch up on YouTube videos. That's what I did this week. And, or when I could, and work on patches. So I did the first sample patch last night. And I sent that to the customer along with her quote. I'm just waiting to hear back from her. I did tell her that there were some tweaks I was going to do to it. I told her what I wanted to change from the first sample patch, and then I'll do a second sample patch. And then if she okays that, we can, yeah, go into production. And thank you to Rob for helping me with the Stitch software. I had to kind of like relearn some stuff on it, so I haven't used it so long. But luckily, like I said before, a lot of that stuff is the same, like the 3D printing and like design things, like digital design things. They're all very similar in techniques and things. So thankfully, most of it I remembered pretty well. I mean, it's just like Photoshop. There's Adobe Photoshop, but then there's a lot of other programs too. And I mean, they're all very similar. They all kind of do the same thing, right? So once you know one, it's way easier to learn the others. What do you guys think? I'm totally happy with that. I'm glad I could use the piggy bank. The pimped piggy bank. And I really like this. I really like those clouds, and yeah. All right. So that's it. I'm going to call it a day. I may actually do some more collaging since I'm trying to not do anything today, really. Trying to take it easy and stay off my knee, but I really want to start cleaning up in this craft room because we did fire everything everywhere when it got wet. Yeah. All right, so that is it, I guess. I am going to go before this video gets to an hour. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my complaining, my big ordeal of a life. But really, grand scheme of things, it all worked out pretty well. Best case scenario for most things. Yeah. All right, so yeah, take care, and hopefully I'll be seeing you again real soon. Bye.